Hi everyone, today I'll be demonstrating on how to draw transparent watercolor flowers. I will teach you the technique of layering your colors in order for your flowers to look transparent. Let's begin by drawing a very light color petal. Once we finish that one, we're going to draw another light color petal just like it but opposite from it. We do this in order for them not to touch, and that way we could prevent bleeding. Now I'm going to touch it a little bit with a little dab of another color, and since my petals are still wet, that color will spread out. Now I'm going to paint another petal on this side of my page. I'm going to do it a little bit different than the one I started with, and I'm going to then add a second petal to that one. I'm going to get them as close as I can together, but I do not want them touching. I'm going to go ahead and add a little color to that one as well. So once your petals are dry, you could begin adding another layer of petals. So for mine, I'm going to slightly overlap on top of the first one I did. So I'm going to go ahead and overlap, paint that, and then I will begin on the second one and overlap on that one as well. So you want to slightly go over it and then go ahead and finish that off. I'm going to go ahead and give it a little dab of color on the edges there. And that gives it effect of like in nature, how the flowers sometimes have different color tones to it. So that's the effect I'm trying to achieve. Now since my second flower is completely dry, the petals of those flowers are dry, I'm going to go ahead and layer another very light layer of 2 new petals. And I'm going to slightly overlap on one, and then I'm going to do the same with the second one. I'm going to slightly overlap. Try not to touch the petals that are wet, because you don't want them again to bleed into each other. Now I'm going to add a little dab of color to those 2 new petals. Alright, my petals are dry, so I'm going to go ahead and put the final petals in. Remember, you want to keep it super light, so that way you can see the petals underneath. And go ahead and add your little dab of color to your bottom of your petal. And now I'm going to go ahead and add my final petals to my other flower. Again, keep your paints light. That's part of the transparency. Now I'm going to go ahead and dab the center of my blue flower with a little bit of yellow and some green. Now I'm going to go ahead and paint the receptacle of the flower and the stem. Let's go ahead and add the leaves now. At this point, I like to go back and add some color variation to both my center of my flower and also to my petals. And there you have it, a very easy way to paint watercolor flowers. You could also do this with different colors, so it's a good way to practice and get better at your skills. If you like this video, please give it a like below and subscribe to see more video demonstrations by Art Connection.